All right, good afternoon, morning, whatever time of zone you're in. This is Kieran here. You are listening to the first podcast ever of This Film Has Not Yet Been Rated. It's kind of new to this. I know you probably never heard of a podcast before. Thanks thanks for not laughing there. This is something new to us because it's it's what is a podcast? What is the definition of a podcast?
Something that I thought died out in the early 2000s.
with the scroll-wheel iPods.
Yeah, like I remembered buying my dad a How to Podcast kit sometime in the early 2000s. Yeah. That's what podcasting is.
you fucking tell Joe Rogan that. Joe Rogan's been going since way before all that.
He may well have been, but this is Northern Ireland. We do things differently here.
Our accents are great for podcasts.
Yeah. What's happening, lads?
You keeping well, big man?
I apologize to my American friends.
Well, fucking three of them.
If you understood anything they just said there, but yeah, we decided to kind of get into podcasting a little bit because I'm a big fan of films, as probably most of you know. I'm joined here with a couple of assholes, but
fucking pleasure,
and they've actually clearly defined that. That term works for them.
Yeah.
But I think they're knowledgeable, but we'll find out.
Depends. It's a loose terminology. Knowledgeable. Depends on what we're talking about.
Well, like I said, this is going to be the longest podcast ever.
It's going to be the strangest podcast ever.
Yes, but actually, that's actually the reason. The reason for what we're trying to do here is trying to find our niche, and clearly we're still not finding it. But bear with us. We want to do something a little different than the basic. Let's talk about a film and blah blah blah, and just enjoy ourselves. I'm here with Colin.
How's it going?
There we are, and Graham.
The youngest one, but I am their boss. Both of their boss, right?
What's poppin', boss man?
What's poppin', boss man?
Boss?
I'm your fucking boss.
Okay. Yeah,
to be fair, that does sound like some sort of weird, sub-dom master
sort of
kind of
sadistic.
thing.
Talk about self-promotion.
I know, right?
We're having a good time. He's giving us his fucking resume.
I'm their boss, but actually I look for one to talk about myself.
Yeah, I look about 45. Colin's about 10 years older, looks about 20. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
This is meant to be about movies, right?
yeah,
It's good start.
Movies, yes.
So we're talking about the film It. I'm probably the closest to the film, and I am a diehard horror movie fan. And for you, can't really translate my American language. Horror,
Or
not horror.
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 Yeah.
Horror.
He is also a fan of horror.
Yeah, he loves the horror.
He really does.
Oh, he never shuts up.
But I thought this was a good film to start off with. We've all seen it before, whether it's the miniseries or the new version, obviously. But we just watched the first part of It, and as we know, the sequel's coming out in a couple weeks.
Yeah, the first part of
So the new one?
2017.
Yeah, the new one. Sorry,
Just
yes.
the original one, Kieran would have seen that
when
when
was
it
in
first
the,
came out.
when it was on the TV,
when he was mid-30s, somewhere around there.
something like that. Yeah. Back whenever it was actually just like cave painting.
Was it colour back then, or was it? Did they add that in?
Okay. I'm obviously the professional one of the group,
Yeah.
and I grew up with Stephen King, and I remember seeing it.
What,
the
not
series.
you personally?
Was he? Is he as
Was that? I thought you were
scary
from
as you
Minnesota.
think?
Is he not from Maine?
Oh my god. Anyways, I just want to let anyone know who's listening to this, I'm looking for 2 new podcasters. But I grew up with Stephen King. I grew up in the late 70s and in the 80s there, and I bought his books, but I never read them because it was always cool.
Doctor Sleep.
It was always well, the problem with Stephen King is his books are so thick and he gets so descriptive. I really don't care about what kind of pencil they're using to write on the.
That's cool. He really doesn't care what you think about his books. He's got your money.
Yeah.
But
he gives a fuck.
Yeah.
But we joke, but he's definitely
He's brilliant.
He's the A-list when it comes to horror, next to Lovecraft and Poe and the gang. So it's a perfect way to start off. Me being the horror fan with It. Fond memories of watching the miniseries back in 1990, I think it was. Tim Curry, who actually was I still think it's a great series. I think it still holds up. Unfortunately, it's made for TV, and censorship loves censoring. So it was, as you can probably tell if you've seen both versions, it has been chopped to shreds. And thankfully, we've got an R-rated version that does the book a little better justice. Like I said, I grew up with Stephen King. I love Stephen King. I love the characters. I love everything about it. Stephen King's, you can tell from his back end, has been bullied his whole life because
his what? His
life because everything he deals with is a lot of bullying. Whether it's Carrie, one of his first novels. Yeah. Which is a big one. You have Christine, which is about bullying. You've got Stand By Me, which is about bullying. Shawshank Redemption, its own right, is about bullying. I mean, the guy is either lived a really dark and disturbing past, or
he has to be bullied, right?
Yeah, well, at least he's taken something and he's made a positive out of it.
It's probably the only time you want to meet a bully and go, thanks, you've done something half decent here.
Yeah.
You created Stephen
King. Yeah, exactly.
Like, thanks for he's turned his pain into something positive.
Yeah, yes. Absolutely.
And that's what it does. And, well, we'll find out in chapter 2. Just to let you all know, and this is a very long and way off course intro. How this works, we talk about the film, just what we thought about it, and what's going on with some of the actors in it, and maybe go off course a little bit about other films. But primarily, it will be about it, and it will be spoiler filled. So if you have not watched the film, or you don't want to hear any gossip about the film, I highly suggest you turn it off and then come visit us again when you've seen it. Cool?
Yep. Yeah, that sounds like us.
All right, cool. So, it
wasn't very good.
What are you talking about?
It, wow. Yes, Graham, what do you, wow. So, really? What?
Yeah. So, I watched the miniseries basically a week ago.
Yeah.
The original 1990.
As did I.
I have never seen either the miniseries or the 2017 film until this last week. And haven't watched the two, although this remake or update is more graphic.
Oh, much more.
Yep. Again, it's that kind of. I personally don't need it. I didn't find it suspenseful, and it just didn't.
I don't think it's meant to be suspenseful. I think it's supposed to be more disturbing, and I really do think it hits that mark. And yeah, it's got a couple jump scares that are predictable, but it has its jump scares. But I don't think the movie It was out to be scary.
Then what did it intend to be?
Because
for me, it just was treading water. It was like, look at me. Here's some blood. Here's some extra teeth.
See,
here's some interesting effects.
I think it depends on how you see it. So I seen it in the cinema for the first time, and you said it isn't scary. Well, can you tell that to my underwear after watching that film? I jumped, I don't know how many times. You can't get it when all three of us in the room were having a bit of a laugh. We'd seen the film already, so we knew what was coming. You didn't, and we're shit for not spoiling the film for you. Everything that was coming up, we're like, this is fucking. We watch this. This is a great scene coming up.
Yeah, and he's right. I think a great scene could not necessarily be scary. It could just be a good scene. But overall, it just wasn't. It didn't grip me.
This has come from someone who doesn't like Stranger Things, so.
Yeah, if you don't like Stranger Things, it's not going to appeal to you.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is. Because everything I described in the beginning here about Stephen King, it's what it all is. It's about and bullying and the kids redeeming themselves.
Okay, but that was
by fighting their inner demons. They're fighting their inner demons in general. Whether the kids fight him against his mother, she's going against her father, abusive father, and then the clown. They face their fears, and now they can face the biggest fear, which is the clown, Pennywise.
They do somewhat cover most of that in the original miniseries.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's quite simple.
But I think the original. I think the miniseries did a better job.
Okay, I'm not going to argue. We're not talking about the original miniseries, but okay.
For me, it's a direct comparison because I've seen them both so recently. They're not spaced out in any way.
Okay,
and that was my first.
Why do you think then that the original? The problem is you're comparing the miniseries to something that's completely one full 3.5 hours, 3 hours.
Okay,
how can you compare that to a film that's not yet finished?
Well, you got to understand though the way this is
the first part. So what you're safe to say though. Your attitude might change when you see the second part and you get to see the full picture.
The reason being, to me, the child actors weren't as... I couldn't connect with them as well.
Well, the newer one?
The newer one. The actual original one, I think, got me a little bit more. Even though it was for TV, some of the scenes for me were actually a bit more... Like, I'm a pretty callous person, but I thought that they were a bit more... Like, oh, that's pretty brutal.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I thought like...
Really?
I thought the newer one...
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think the newer one, especially cutting the per kid and...
Yeah, well, see, in the old one, he didn't get the knife in, right?
No.
So he didn't go near him. He went to do it, and then he kicked away, pulled off, but he got the H.
So what you're saying, technically, less is more then?
I think so. A prime example, Jaws versus Jaws 1. Jaws versus Jaws 2. Jaws
Saying
versus
that
Jaws.
right behind your head, by the way, Jaws poster up on the wall.
But, it's that kind of tell, don't show. It's the story. You don't have to see everything. You don't have to witness everything. It's in your head. It's, again, that face your fears.
I think that's more. It's not as much as a suspense thriller or anything. It is a fucking. This is in your face.
Stephen King bases all this stuff around his childhood. I can almost guarantee that. Yeah. And then he embeds it with horror. So it's really horror is almost the backdrop of, or in the foreground of what the real story is trying to tell. I mean, Stand By Me is about these kids looking for a dead body, but it's really about these kids going on this little weekend getaway and finding what true friendship is, and almost the same concept. So a lot of his stuff deals with that. So in a way, Pennywise is just more of, I don't know, just a mascot.
Okay.
I think Stephen King is underappreciated because I don't think people realize how deep his stuff really, really is.
I'm not criticizing that. I'm doing a direct comparison, miniseries versus this new one. I think that the fact it was a televised, serialized conversion actually brought out more of the characters.
Do you think then it was better told because they did both? They did the kids as flashbacks, and then they had the adults, so they merged. Where this one is doing the kids' story first, and then the adults.
That
could be a better way of telling it?
I think possibly. In the beginning, I was like, "This is weird. This is an odd timeline," and it didn't really gel with me. But as it went on, even how they built the friendships with the kids, it started off with just the two, and then another one came, and another one came.
Yeah, everyone.
And it was only whenever they built up. Whereas this one, it was already 4 groups of friends, and everyone just found each other really easily. It was like, okay.
No, I don't know. I think they found a common thread to find the other two, and I think that's what they're trying to do. And they wanted to focus more on what they're going through in their personal lives, so they didn't want this. Let's have all the kids meet.
I mean, I guess it's more again.
For running time purposes, maybe.
Movie orientated, yeah. But when you consider that that's a 2-hour, 14-minute movie, and at that point the miniseries was nearly over, you're just kind of like.
But hey, do you not think
there's a lot of wasted screen time?
You've seen the miniseries in its entirety, so you've seen it in its entirety. You've seen everything of it. You've only seen half of it here by watching the show.
Do you not think Chapter 2 is going to fulfill what is missing?
Do you not think that when you get that puzzle piece that kicks in and go, that makes sense now, right? That makes sense compared to how the old film did it, where it had the scenes intertwined with each other. So you had the older guys then meeting with the younger at the same time. They were kind of interlaced with each other.
Keep in mind, they're going to do flashbacks for Chapter 2.
Yeah.
And they're also going to be a little more aggressive because they're not dealing with children of age anymore. So, do you think it's fair to say that the miniseries is still better than this one until this one completes?
I think so.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that.
What's your verdict here?
We'll come back to that when
it we'll see. It's out. What next?
Of what?
So what do you think? What do you think, in your opinion, so far has been better? Do you think the original's going to hold closer to it?
I think they're opposite films.
Yeah, you think they're not comparable?
The miniseries, I have a fondness for it. I own it. I like it.
I think for them.
I would love to see Tim Curry in the modern makeup of Pennywise. Not to take away from Skarsgård. I think he did a great job.
He did.
But Tim Curry and having to be able to have those props would have done a lot better, I think.
I actually think the low budget of the other one, there's something to me about practical effects actually.
Oh, really?
This turn. We had a conversation earlier about practical effects.
No, we'll get. Let's not finish.
Yeah. So I have no issues with practical effects.
You don't see me, but I'm fucking screaming at him right now because we're come back to this one. Practical effects.
Oh, practically shit. Really, it's.
So for me, the fact that they look so bad is part of the grotesque nature of it.
Yeah.
CG.
That is the worst comeback. You were going to say something completely different.
No.
And then you had to turn it real quick.
Change it.
The fact that it can look badly done and it looks.
I don't think the makeup at all in Tim Curry's was badly done.
What I mean is some of the things like the teeth looked a bit ropey. But I'm not saying that as a criticism. I'm actually saying that as a positive, because again it was, as I said earlier, this one was like, let's just make it scary by adding more teeth. It's not a fucking shark.
Well, if it's a shark again, I wouldn't be swimming anymore.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's for what they had to work with. Just fucking. I mean, maybe it's just the fact that Tim Curry did such a good job. Him coming at you with just those teeth and just some basic makeup.
Yeah.
For me, was actually a bit more like, than what we had in this.
Thing I found was a little bit different between this film and the original miniseries. Tim Curry was it was almost kind of friendly. So we look at the first scene with Georgie, in the drain series, one of the most iconic sort of scenes. You'll know that if you haven't even watched the film. Tim Curry was more friendly. He was more like enticing to actually come into the drains, where you've got Skarsgård's one is a lot more demonic from the start. It's the eyes, the one eye looking at you, the one eye kind of off to the side. It's totally different than the two. So he does play a more like realistic clown as such, where Skarsgård is just a fucking terrifying clown. Like he's awful.
But then I think to a lot of people, especially the ones who are afraid of clowns, but actually probably more afraid of Tim Curry's version.
Yeah, you know what? Probably because he's more like an actual clown,
exactly.
Opposed to
Which
being
again,
like a horror icon.
Plays into that horror aspect.
Yeah,
it's just a fear of what's actually already there.
But the whole point is that Pennywise is a backdrop. I mean, Stephen King, I guess I mentioned repeatedly, it's more about the characters overcoming their weaknesses and strengths.
Yeah.
Almost like a superhero, almost like a Spider-Man, almost like just recently a Spider-Man movie. What was it? Far From Home.
Yeah.
About get your head out of your ass, grow up, and face something. And this is kind of what this is their turning point. And Pennywise is their Electro or Misfit or whatever the hell he was fighting. Well, I can't remember.
that would be
like that film,
that would be Mysterio.
Okay, that's him. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Do not bring up Spider-Man.
He's one of the gay cowboys.
That's somebody you don't want to mess with.
But I think the movie got so many good reviews, and I think the audience adapted to it. The core audience, adapted to it. The younger crowd would probably agree with you. I wasn't scared, but it is a lot bigger picture than just a clown.
Yeah.
And so I think audience like myself, or a mature audience, no offense, would get what's happening here, what they're seeing. I mean, I hate it when I see that poor little kid being is being knife carved up, and then you had
that's the worst bit.
The poor kid his face being, and it took these friends to stand up. I mean, in my own right, you said it recently that kind of felt sorry for the bully because the dad was kind of a douche.
Yeah.
But I thought the opposite, and this is the flaw of the film. It didn't really show me his dad's a dick.
Yeah,
I think the dad thought his son was a dick, so he was just. So there's a scene missing here.
Yeah.
Because the kid just came off like a douche and a killer. Where I think you're supposed to think the cop was an abusive alcoholic, but I never got that.
No,
what you didn't get as well is the mum's not in the picture. The dad is the police officer, the main police officer. He's got all his own stress of being a police officer. And then...
Well, it's Derry.
Yeah, well, London, Derry, Larry, whatever it is. But he doesn't... it doesn't show you him taking it out on the kid enough to be that kid, to be that...
Yeah, I think they tried to look like when he kills the father.
Yeah.
You see the glass and the beer bottles in front of him and stuff like that. So I think you're supposed to assume it. But this film was smart enough to show everyone else's backstory or fears. They could have dove a little deep because, if I'm not mistaken, this bully comes back.
Yeah.
Sorry for guys, like I said, a spoiler film.
He's fucking spoiled it for me because I didn't know that.
You think he gets it, but no, he ends up in an asylum in the second one, and Pennywise comes to get him out. So, and there's a couple cut stuff that they kind of butchered a bit, where you saw the bully after killing his father was supposed to go out, goes outside and he slaughters his friends.
Yeah.
And that's where all the blood was on his face, but you didn't see that when he left to kill his father. So there's a lot of stuff they did cut out, and I think they're doing that to kind of reflect into the second one.
Do you think they filmed that?
Yeah, I think they did.
They did film it then?
Yeah, so there's flashbacks that are being told. I think they're being saved.
So you told me something interesting earlier. You told me that they had already filmed the flashbacks beforehand. So
yeah, the rumor has that they filmed because the kids are mature, especially Finn from Stranger Things. I mean, he's gotten big
and ugly.
But
this is not my words.
I never. Wow. So sick bastard. No, but.
So yeah, Finn. If you look at the Stranger Things, even 2 to 3,
the only thing
grown, right?
When
he hasn't in the 2 trailer.
When you watch trailer though for the second one, I see Georgie's grown.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We don't know. And again, they filmed it about a year after.
Yeah.
So this should be all right for the most part. I'm not worried about that. We're kind of going off course, but you did. I mean, so you see it more. I guess it is promoting more of a horror film.
No, like I actually like the underlying story of the kids, but I still stand by my original point that the miniseries did a better job of telling their story. And I think the whole thing right through, the bullying, although it was a different kind of bullying, I think it was actually more intense in the miniseries too, especially like of the overweight kid and everyone. It was, you know.
See, I think the total opposite than you did. I think that the new one had it far worse. So he was a lot more of a dick constantly through it. The belly slicing scene, that didn't happen in the first one, right? Because he got kicked off and kicked away.
Yeah.
It happened in the new one.
But when he punches him in the face, you can hear it and see
it. So he punches him
and that's a pretty...
Each one of those, that hurt me. Like,
even I was like, oh, poor kid, leave him alone.
As somebody who has experienced this, I can honestly say that it is closer to the original film.
Yeah.
So it's usually not physical abuse, although it is depicted this way. It is usually just emotional and verbal.
Yeah.
So it fucks you up more inside than it does externally.
Oh, I can't think for depressing me, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck.
So I mean, like that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, our next podcast.
Yeah, so on our next podcast,
just being Kieran, by the way.
Oprah Winfrey will be joining us.
I'm so happy we're drinking on this podcast. But we decided to have a drink at this one. And,
to be fair, though.
Okay, but you saying that and you're pouring your heart out in front of everybody and these hundreds of millions of viewers.
maybe 1 plus
or listen. Sorry,
my granny will listen to this, so it's got at least 4 now, right?
Your granny listens to it. Goes that poor wee man. Hi, granny.
Can you see the helpline calling you?
Yeah.
Hey, we heard about you, Colin. We won't mention where you work, but they can call you. You can call them.
So I can attest that it's probably actually closer to the original one, where it's just
yes,
a constant emotional
very
thing.
rare do you get bullies knifing you and
exactly
stuff. It is a bit of an exaggeration.
It is, yeah. It's playing it up for effect.
Yes, but it works, and I think, and here's why it works. And another thing I want to mention about the film is that you've got these young actors who I never heard of. Now they're kind of blossoming, doing something. The only one I knew was Finn from Stranger Things. They are stellar in this. They're very good at what they do. And the couple films I saw they do after this, they're really good in that. Yeah. So it's, I mean, very rare can you work with kid actors and you can see their careers blossom.
Yeah.
Very rare you've got Josh Brolin from Goonies, Sean Astin from the Goonies, or you've got Kiefer Sutherland who's grown, is kind of moved on. But then Elijah Wood,
top quality guys like Edward Furlong.
But if we go back then to the,
I think you get my point.
I do, yeah.
It's nice to have that because a lot of explorers had Ethan Hawke and River Phoenix died too young, but River
Phoenix. Dora,
the Explorer, or
But my point being, this is such an '80s feel to it, right? like Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And a lot of the 80s, a lot of those actors have gone on to do well.
Yeah.
And I feel that this is just a... I don't know. I maybe it's because it's more nostalgic for me. But
the original one, right? So the actors from the original one, bar Seth Green from the kids, there isn't very much of them that are actually doing these days, right?
Well, 2 of them are dead.
Well, yeah, 2 of them, 2 of them are dead. Yeah.
God love John Ritter.
Yeah,
I love John Ritter.
Pennywise got to him eventually, but
wow.
I went dark there. Sorry.
No, you had Harry Anderson, who's passed. Mm-hmm. You had Tim something, I can't remember the guy, but he's passed. You had John Ritter, who's passed, and you got Richard Macer. He's still around. I can't believe I knew all that without even looking.
That's impressive. Like, I'm looking at it and I was going, yeah, he's got all in.
The kid actor's done one commit suicide, and then yeah, Seth Green's done well.
Seth Green, yeah, the voice of what do you call him in Family Guy?
Chris?
Yeah, he's Chris.
Yeah.
I actually know Seth Green from this weird ass show when I watched when I was a kid. He played like the hot next door neighbor of some girl. I can't remember.
He played the
Can't Buy Me Love.
Hot.
I can't.
No, it's not. He's not. He's wrong. Can't Buy Me Love. Can't Buy Me Love is a movie with Patrick Dempsey.
It definitely is a movie.
Patrick Dempsey, his younger brother is Seth Green. He's a little brat. Right. Patrick Dempsey's a nerd trying to get the girl next door who's hot.
So Graham just completely misremembered.
No, totally not right. You continue on because I am searching this. I'm trying to do this quickly as I can.
Can't Buy Me Love.
I can guarantee it isn't.
And he plays the bratty little brother.
And
Patrick Dempsey's the nerd.
Graham's just got some strange Seth Green kind of fetish where it's like he was.
Seth Green's a boy. Like Seth Green's a man. I like Seth Green's cool.
But and he just Robot Chicken.
He does Robot Chicken, and he does a lot for Robot Chicken too. That's nice.
Just so you know, we are talking about the movie It, and we will be back in there in a second.
Yeah.
After we find out Graham is completely wrong. The movie is Can't Buy Me Love with Patrick Dempsey. I want everyone to listen to this. There we go. He'll pick some random shit film that he did.
So what? I can't even find. I can't.
It's Can't Buy Me Love. Let's move on.
It's definitely not. It's not a movie. It's a TV show. He plays the next door neighbor.
I can't remember what it is. I'll find out tomorrow.
I'm fairly certain this might have been a dream of yours.
Yeah, probably. My dreams are fucked up, so like, it's...
Your dreams are fucked up, but otherwise your dreams about Seth Green is your sexy neighbor.
Yeah, well, you know what, Seth Green, he can move in next door anytime.
What? Okay. That's cool. Oh, yeah. You have some more Buckfast there, Graham.
Yeah.
Speaking of Buckfast, by the way, if anyone hasn't heard of Buckfast, it's quite a unique drink. It's a Northern Irish or Scottish drink. It's a tonic wine made by Benedictine monks, and Kieran, being American, has never tried it. So at some point in this podcast, he's going to try it, and we're going to see what he thinks of it.
More importantly, is that what the smell is?
Yeah, totally.
Totally?
It's medicinal. It's got like its medicinal thickness. But let's try it now. Let's try it now.
Penicillin?
Let me smell that.
You've got it's thick. It's gloopy. It's in a wine bottle, but it is. It's fucking odd. It's got a lot of caffeine in it. So. One bottle of this, and before you go out anywhere, we'll send you.
Yes.
He's laughing, pointing at the empty bottle beside me
as he's drinking another one.
Let's try it there, and let's see what it's. Try it while you have it. Go on,
do it.
Do it.
Oh my god.
You can do it.
Yeah, we're taking a pause for station identification and a commercial break.
We're talking it, right?
Yeah, we're talking about it. Yeah.
Go. Or he's drinking it. It's down. It's in his mouth. How is it?
It's like a it's like a wine made out of caramel.
Caramel.
Oh, caramel. Yeah, caramel. Caramel. We tried.
No.
Have you tried it before? Yeah.
Never.
You've never tried? No. Come on.
Take a sip.
It's kind of. You're fine. You're driving. You just gotta try it and go.
Oh yeah, you're driving. That's the thing.
Yeah, I made Colin pick me up tonight. Sorry. Well, verdict.
Tastes like Benelin.
Benelin? Well, I haven't had Benelin before, but if I had Benelin...
Doesn't it taste like a really bad medicine caramel kind of...
No, it just tastes like cough medicine.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
So it's absolutely chunk full of coffee.
As Graham is sitting there drinking a bottle in front of us right now.
Like it smells better than it tastes.
Yeah. Well, I think it tastes fucking great.
No, it's not... I will say it's not horrid. I've had worse. As you slam your coat.
Slam your coat down.
What are we talking about again?
It, right, the film.
Okay, the one couple questions I have about it. That's always confuse me when I say that.
Yeah.
And you guys caught it. Why is it? Well, a couple things, and they're big ones. Where's the FBI?
Where's the fucking police?
You got missing children, and there's no FBI. And why does he come out in 27 years to eat kids? But how many kids does he eat? And when does it stop?
Yeah.
Like, so, you know what I mean? I don't get...
Like how many does he have to eat?
Yeah, how many does he have to eat?
Is he like a bear? He like eats 16 kids and hibernates for 27 years, and that's enough to fuel them more.
That's... I don't get...
Okay.
Did you find that? Did they explain that? I can't remember the miniseries.
No, they don't explain it in the miniseries.
What they do explain, though, is he feeds on horrors, so if he doesn't have the right kids to scare, then maybe he doesn't have that fuel.
Okay, so he picks on the kids that have problems.
Yeah.
Bullying.
So each
he
one
picks
of these
on the
guys
weak ones.
have the problems, so they're the weak kids, they're the losers club. So each of them has this particular thing that they're terrified of, and he can play off that.
All right, that
so
makes sense.
maybe he doesn't have that group of friends that are the same thing. Maybe he just has the individuals that don't count. You never know. Maybe there is disappearances in between the two films, but they're only one kid, two kids.
There's no disappearance. It's every 27 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either once he's been set back, shall we say, or has had his fill, then he goes away.
Yeah. And they get fucked up pretty hard in the end of the film.
Yeah. Oh my god, I lost my train of thought.
That's pretty bad.
I agree.
That's that Buckfast.
It's that Buckfast.
Tell you what, one drink and you're Buckfast means you're fucked fast. So
wow.
Should I leave you guys here tonight then?
Yeah. We should actually talk about the director. It was directed by Andy Muschietti.
You track it. You track Colin. You see what it says. What does it say?
Is it Muschietti? Muschietti. That sounds pretty good. Andy
Muschietti. You got that.
Yeah, you gotta get the hand action.
Yeah. Him and his sister are actually partners in the film business, and they did a short a couple years back, but they made it into a film. And the film, it's a horrible film. Yeah, I could tell you the story. People would laugh your ass. It's called Mama. And
just killed a man.
But just killed a man. And it's about a stockbroker who loses everything, and he kills his wife, and he takes his kids in a car ride, and he loses the control of the car, and it crashes, and he drags the kids out of the car, and he gets them to his abandoned cabin, and he's about to shoot the kids in the face.
This film sounds alright.
Jagger was right in this crap myself to sleep. Like, this is hurting me.
But something grabs him and kills him. Years later, they're found, and the stepbrother or somebody is in charge of adopting them, and I guess they're woods children because they were raised by this witch in the woods. They were raised by Mama. Oh my god, it's so bad. It is bad. I mean,
you had me at the start with the car crash and everything. Yeah. No.
And so they're like hiding in the corner, and they're covered in branches. It's so bad. But this movie made a shitload of money.
Yeah.
And for the studio, and now I believe in this. I believe it's not. It wasn't the direction. It wasn't boring or anything. Laughable, but it wasn't boring. But the director had something. And I think the reason he got it was because he had to work with children in the first one, children in peril, and he had some really nice shots, some great cinematography, and that's piggybacking on the cinematography of this film is brilliant.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, you can't fault it, especially with the use of the reds and the balloon and some of those quick long shots that zoom in.
Do you know what's a great shot in that film is? See near the end when you're down in the sewers in the deep and you got Pennywise, you've got the what do you call that, Jack in the Box starting to go up, and then it drops down, the stage drops down, Pennywise the dancing clown comes out and he dances for the first time essentially. The camera tracks his face and stays set in his face, so it moves with his face where the whole body moves, you know what I mean. That's a great that really suited that film, I think.
Despite your thing on it's not scares. It's like I said, it's more. I think more tension. I mean, the scene where in the house and Finn, I call him Finn.
The same.
Yeah, the kid walks in and he goes in that room. It's all full of clowns, and then he ends up seeing the Curry clown. He's in the corner.
Yeah.
But you open up a coffin. There's his dead body, but it's like a doll. Yeah. And I mean, that's just. And then God, I gotta memorize these bloody kids' names. There's too many of them. Which one's that one?
So we got Finn. Finn plays Richie.
Yeah.
Richie Tozier, Tozier. You're American. You can probably get that one.
Well, I'm American. I get that one. What is this?
Yo, his name's Richie Tozier, bro.
But, anyways,
come on, pronounce it.
This here.
Which one are you looking at?
Look at fucking Finn. That Finn.
It's right on your screen.
Richie Tozier.
Tozier.
So the one.
This is where in the comments or whatever, Kieran's gonna be like, it's not fucking pronounced.
Eddie Casbrick is the kid I like the most in it.
Fat kid?
No, Eddie Casbrick is the one who had the mother who was overprotective.
Yeah.
And his scene when he falls and he goes through what the hell is that? It's even each scene. Okay, they have to tackle the fear slowly, and that's the way it is. And it's weird because it's almost like Pennywise is pushing them to beat their fears.
Yeah.
He challenges them, and when he falls through the floor, and he hits the table, his arm is broken, and it's just sitting there floppy.
It's so gross.
And he just has, besides of the clown coming up and scaring the hell out of him, he seems more restrained. He seems more. I don't want to say Eddie. He's just the wrong place to word. The kid was screaming his head off, but
he was pretty cool straight after that, though.
Yeah, he goes after his mother, saying, this is this and this. It's the whole film is a progression of these kids, and I can't wait to see the second one. I just think you need to see the second one in its entirety thinking that it's better
than the original. Yeah,
than the original.
No, I get you on that one.
You saw half a film.
Yep.
You weren't bored, were you?
I wasn't bored, but I wasn't gripped.
So that's wrong. I was gripped. Grip's a good word. It doesn't have to be scary, but it was gripping.
Yeah.
You wanted to see what happened to these kids, and every time that bully showed up, I got pissed. So you really felt for where.
No, I get that. Like, for me, the bully, again, it was well portrayed that he's a complete dick. That's fine, I get that. But the entire film didn't have me like, fuck, I really want to see what happens next. Like, because I think, again, maybe it's because
you saw the original.
I've already seen the original, I know what's going to happen. Yes, it's going to have some kind of spin on it. They're going to maybe change a plot line, or they're going to maybe, this character's going to do this instead of that one. And you're like, ooh.
Yeah. Well, what I thought was that because the two films are complete different lengths. You get the first film was about 3 hours, somewhere there, and then you got we call it I say a film because me and Colin obviously didn't watch it when it came out originally as a miniseries. We watched it retrospectively. We watched it. It was a one-piece film. Did you watch the same as me, right?
I did.
So
yeah.
we watched it as a film.
It was essentially a 3-hour film.
Yeah. So we got 2 hours and 14 minutes of this one. So we may get another 2 hours. We're gonna have a lot more stuff to look at. There's a lot of scenes in that film that just didn't make it into the first film. It might not even been in the book. It might have been something they've completely added on, on top of that. But I liked it a lot. I totally disagree with you. I'm just biting my tongue because I thought it was a great film. Like,
yeah, I'm shocked that. Well, I'm not shocked that you liked the first one, but I mean, I like the original.
Yeah,
but I think they're apples to oranges. There's a PG feeling one, and then there's the harder version, which is what this is.
Yeah, big time.
But you say it's PG, but again, for me, I think it conveyed the story better.
All right. I mean, to each their own. I mean, I'm not going to argue with me. I like the miniseries.
Yeah.
So
so if you like the miniseries, regardless of this one has more graphic scenes or whatever, story-wise, would you agree that the miniseries actually does a better job?
I can't say that yet until I see part 2.
Yeah, you gotta see the full thing.
You need to understand the first one had as more of.
It's a complete tale versus.
It's a back and forth.
I'll give you an example.
Okay. All right, I'll allow it.
I'll give you an example. Oh my God, it was a good one. Brain freeze. It probably is because you guys probably hate the film.
Yeah, awesome example there.
Shut up. It's the story of comic books.
Yeah.
And how it works is people are so tired of the origins. We know it.
That Spider-Man, for instance, his favourite thing, Spider-Man, when you go into the Spider-Verse, things like that, the origins sort of dropped a little more in all the new Marvel films, the new Spider-Man. That origin story gets dropped because it's been done.
Exactly.
I'm the same. I'm fine. It's been done a million times.
That's not where I'm going with this.
No.
But go ahead.
This is where we're going with it.
Actually, hold on. Let's see, because Kieran and I had an argument about this.
Yeah, he heard it.
Oh, you heard it?
Which one?
The one that you
The Bruce Wayne.
He
Batman.
wasn't listening to what I was saying, what I was trying to say to him.
Cool. Tell me, and I will judge your argument that he's right.
And I'm going to tell you now.
Every single version of Batman that we have ever seen, other than the 60s TV series.
Yeah.
They're like,
why sharks, Batman?
Yeah. Oh, look. It's Thomas and Martha Wayne dying again.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I hate that.
It's not. You guys are comparing. There's a difference between having an origin story, and yes, we're still talking about it, by the way. Just a heads up. So there's a difference between having an origin story where it's like, fuck it, here we go, 30 fucking minutes of this shit again.
Yeah.
And being told when he's waking up in sweats, or he gets angry when he thinks about it, it causes him.
Okay.
He's the Dark Knight. It is his fuel. He might have a half a second flashback. That's what I'm talking about.
If it wasn't for the fact that we've had 15 Batman films.
Oh, really? Do you want to go on with your boy Spider-Man?
I'm aware he's probably.
We just watched fucking Japanese Spider-Man.
No, we haven't watched.
Yeah, we did.
So.
No, you don't even start with that one.
No.
No,
that's no.
So it too's good. Okay, so the new one's good.
No, I agree with Colin. So if I turn to my nephew is 3, and I goes,
why
is Batman Batman? He's like, his parents died. He hadn't even fucking seen the films, and he knows it.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it's not saying
we don't need to be.
It's not an origin. It is not. It's just a quick sequence of events.
Sorry to the people with headphones. Kieran is smacking the desk.
No, my point is, I guarantee you, people who listen to this will go, either we're not listening to this ever again, or we're going to go, he's fucking right, what he's saying. I'm not saying I need to see the Batman origin again. I'm saying is it will be implied in it, whether it's through a quick dream sequence or something, because that's his character.
I know, but
he's a vigilante. It fuels his fire. You could show him
working, either not sleeping, or you could show him having, waking up with sweat.
That doesn't make any. That's just petty. That's just stupid. So you're saying he can't go. And here wake up with gunshots. Oh no, that's an origin.
We're telling you what you watched Deadpool, right?
I hate that film.
I hate that film.
I hate Deadpool. I hate Deadpool.
Right, this is for another podcast altogether.
No, they're stupid.
His origin story isn't mentioned, and I agree with Colin that
actually Deadpool is of course he's got an origin.
Why?
Deadpool?
Yeah.
How he got his.
Well, he got his mask and stuff, but he was...
How he got burnt and all? Yeah, that's Deadpool.
Do you know what? Yeah, they did.
Wow, thank you. Thanks. I was like, even you were looking at him like, what the fuck? Ladies and gentlemen, as a spokesman, please do not be drinking Buckfast while podcasting.
I know this is an It podcast, but...
By the way, we are talking about the movie It real soon.
We will come back to that. But as we said at the beginning, I think this is, unscripted. So...
No shit.
Yeah, just a wee bit. So, you can show the psychological trauma that has been inflicted on him, which, of course, other than being a bat vigilante...
No, the whole point of his being is witnessing the death of his parents.
I know, so you stop showing me!
No, there's nothing wrong. They're not showing you a 30-minute... They're just showing you a quick... something.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, no. No.
Yeah, a quick thing is fine, but they don't, because every time it's the gunshot, it's Martha's pearls falling on the floor, it's some kind of variation of that, and then bats flying around or some bullshit. Fuck off!
Right. Let's bring it back. So, we're talking about It.
No,
okay, so we got more than one bad guy in it.
Oh no, we're going back to my story real quick.
Okay, go for it.
What I was talking about is the new Spider-Man. Fuck off. I'm trying to think here. The new Superman that came out, which I like the DC stuff, and that's where you and I will argue again.
Man of Steel or
Man of Steel.
Okay.
And how they did it was they told it in flashbacks. Mm-hmm. And I like that. They did the origin of crap again, like you hate.
Yep.
But they did it during the actual events that are happening in the future.
Yeah.
That was a much clever way of doing it. Because you don't get bored.
Yeah.
We've all got to sit through a half hour of, you're the son of Jor-El, yada, yada, yada. I get that.
Yep.
And my point being, we got way off track. That's what works on the miniseries. Because that's what they do.
Yeah.
They have the adults going what's going on, and then they have their flashbacks.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make it a lull. It just kind of mixes well.
Do you know what would be great to see? An origin story of Pennywise. Let me hit your origin stories.
That is this one.
No, but I don't know.
That's happening in this one.
Do you think it's going to happen in the next
No,
one?
it is. They tell you where
You got that weird scene where you got Skarsgård without the hair and stuff on. You know,
this is the birth of.
Yeah.
Rumor has it it's supposed to be you kind of feel sorry for the character. That's the rumor, but I don't know.
Tell me this, guys. Who's worse then? So, is the bully's dad worse? Do you think, or the bully, or what do you call her dad? What do you call the girl that's getting abused? Well, we all know the girl from it.
Beverly?
Yeah, Bev. Who do you think is going to be worse than the bully, even, or
the father, the girl, the father.
You think the father's
Are you kidding me? Molestation your child?
That guy is a fucking scumbag.
I mean, but we kind of piggyback that a bit, where we talk about the bully Henry Bowers.
Good memory.
Yeah, no, I try. Or IMBD in front of me. But the problem I had with that scene is that we just talked about it. The father wasn't given any screen time. I see a father sticking up for everybody else.
Yeah.
When he's bullying the kids from school, he looks at his dad, he stops so much. So we're supposed to think he's an abusive father, and that's why he's abusing the kids. But I just got an authority figure, leave those kids alone.
Well, he might be like, I look after everybody else, but don't look after my own kid.
Yeah, and that's fine, but that was more subjective. Is that correct? Oh, that's a good word. Where everyone else's story has been told.
Yeah.
Why can't we get this kid's story? Because he's a pretty crucial character, and he does come back in the second part. But we might see that.
But her dad,
I think
he is awful.
Oh,
Colin actually pointed something out that I didn't notice throughout the film. So she wears a lot of dresses and stuff. She does a lot of skirts, everything else. But if you actually look at it and notice, she has got red shorts on, or some sort of shorts on underneath her dress. So Colin was the one to point that out. Sorry, laughing at. Colin's the one to point out that she's obviously getting molested by her dad. Wears these shorts to stop that happening. Colin, what do you think about
that? Guys, this is a really bad inside joke. We're gonna just move on.
I think that was an inside joke. I thought that was all. I actually thought that was a fucking insightful thing.
Oh my god!
So the reason she wears these shorts underneath is to stop the molestation. To stop it from being so easy. It's
there's a couple things.
That's actually a smart point. It's not mentioned. It's smart.
Her abuse. It's weird to bring up because her abuse is actually they don't show up, but they do it in certain ways. Like you're right. She goes out in a sundress, but she wears pants. But in front of the boys, the young kids, she's willing to go in full.
Yeah, she's willing to go Nixon bra.
And there's a scene that's been completely removed from the film. They were thinking about doing it, and I'm not gonna say.
Jesus! This
and it is a gangbang.
Yeah,
so that happens between her and the other children. But it's supposed to be. It's not. It's like a rite of passage, I guess you could say. As creepy as that sound. So it makes more sense, but you couldn't put that in the film.
Yeah.
I think she was actually fantastically cast and acted.
She's brilliant.
The story was really good with her. And even things like the hair coming back out of the sink to put her in, and not just the blood from the first one, plays on that even stronger because again, what she thought was something that she was changing is coming back to get her.
I'm glad they didn't put the gangbang scene in. So the idea behind it was they started losing connection with each other. So when they stay together, they stay strong. When they come apart and become individuals, that's when they become weak. So the gangbang scene was we need to connect again. And weird as it is, but that's why Stephen King puts it as them to get back together.
That's a weird way to connect.
Very much so. That's why it is not in any movie.
I think a good game of Monopoly would have done it.
Yeah. Like, but maybe get together, maybe get together and watch a film, have a pizza, and do a podcast.
But I think it happens in the sewer.
Yeah,
it happens during the time where this is all happening. So it's not like, but.
Man, I lost my virginity in a sewer too, so we're the same.
I mean,
wow, that's lovely. That's lovely. 9.5 weeks over here.
Graham's like, why am I so honest when I drink? Shit.
Well, that's why I'm drinking Buckfast.
Yeah.
Okay, but you bring up that you like her backstory, but why don't you like, the story of Georgie and his brother?
Because I don't think that the actor who was cast in that role did as good a job as the original one.
Are you talking about Georgie or the brother?
No, not Georgie. The brother. Bill. Denbrog.
I actually agree with Colin on this one. I think the original actor was better than the new one.
He did the stammering better.
The stammer, yeah.
But
even as much as the stammer.
Everything about him, I just felt more inclined to like him and believe that he was heartbroken about his brother.
No, I believe that too. I totally agree with it.
And in this one, it was just Georgie.
And didn't the one who had the stammer in the original? He also had the inhaler.
No,
that's the kid that broke his arm.
That's the guy who broke his arm.
He's got the inhaler.
Yeah. You hear when he breaks his arm, he's like suffering from it.
Oh, okay.
When they run to the store in the old one, they run for the inhaler. When they run for the store in the new one, they actually run for bandages for the bigger kid to get also not. So they have that thing in common, but it's for different reasons.
Yeah. And they still overcome things. So in the miniseries, it's about not needing his inhaler. He knows he doesn't need it.
Yeah.
But he just kind of is reliant on it at this point. And this one, he kind of throws them all away, which I can kind of get, but still.
Well, he never had asthma.
No, he didn't.
The whole thing was anxiety from being told he had this. So
again, it's that the pharmacist actually tells him in the miniseries it's whatever water.
It's
and
the
you just launch in the bottle of your
I dropped it. But it's the same in the new one because he turns around to his mum and hilariously calls it the gazebo effect.
Yeah,
these are
gazebos.
These are gazebos, and throws it down and realizes, I actually don't have this illness you've been talking about the whole time. You're manipulating me to be the way you want me to be.
Yeah,
and that's his fear, right? That's his fear is his mother and how he's being controlled and that.
On that note, that you brought up there. You brought up the pharmacist, Graham.
Yes.
This anybody who's listening to this podcast, there is an actor who plays the pharmacist. His name is Joe Bostic.
Or Christopher Reeves.
It's Joe, as it's spelled, and Bostick. Or please watch the scene where she goes in and says, "Oh, you look like Clark Kent."
Or if you want to feel for it.
And Graham turns to us and says, "My God, he looks just like Christopher Reeve."
And I stand by it. So I brought the picture of Chris Reeves up.
Oh, God love the picture.
Okay. So, this guy is not Superman Christopher Reeve. This guy is the latter half of Christopher Reeve.
Okay, first of all, we're not going to go that far on the Christopher Reeve thing because that's not right. But he does pull up a picture of Chris Reeve's last days. And he's not going to look as good when he's just Superman or when he's in Somewhere in Time or Death Trap. So he pulls a picture on the poor man's deathbed and he compares it to this guy.
That was a press conference. He's on his fucking deathbed.
You've got to compare. Anybody who has watched this, please get back to us.
I think we should again come back to this in a later podcast. When Graham hasn't been drinking and be like,
I think we should come back to the line in the movie when they go, "You look just like Clark Kent."
But she said that.
Yeah, it's meant to be like.
You know why?
No, she's trying to.
She's flattery.
She's flattery.
He looks like Superman.
But you know the real reason why that actually was said?
Because he doesn't look like him.
Because he looks just fucking like Clark Kent.
She said that just because he has glasses.
No way. Right? Like, do you know what?
It's the 80s.
Let's see if we have a thumbnail for this podcast. It's going to be Christopher Reeves versus the pharmacist. And do you know what? Well,
I get people say, "Hey, Kieran,"
they'll never know.
Yeah, I got people say, "Kieran, you look like you look like a young Harrison Ford." I get that all the time.
When was that? Who was this and when was this? Because
it was just last week.
Just last week.
Yeah, it was flattered. I said thank you.
Was it your mum?
Yeah. But anyways, you gotta check this out. This guy looks nothing like Chris Reeve. God rest his soul. I'm a diehard Chris Reeve fan.
Chris Reeve.
He is still the best Superman.
He is.
And we'll go out on that one. What do you guys think of Tim Curry versus Bill Skarsgård?
See, I love Bill Skarsgård. I think Bill Skarsgård is the better Pennywise. I think he's got that. See the look in his eyes. That's a fucking horrible look. He's got one eye looking, one eye slightly off.
It's called CGI.
Yeah.
Well, it may be CGI. We got the CGI versus practical effects thing going on here, but I think it's the acting entirely is better.
Flat out not looking at you, then that's cool. But yeah,
the only thing with Tim Curry I thought was better was Tim Curry actually felt like a clown that it went weird and it was all strange, whereas Skarsgård was just it. He was terrifying the whole time, but.
You see,
he has so many more lines, though. He has so much more appearance than the original one, right?
He's more of a plot character rather than just a backdrop mascot.
Yeah. So it's not like other horror films where you're like, oh shit, here he comes, like the bad guy. Mm-hmm. He's quite like apparent throughout the films. You're excited, almost like a curiosity what he does next. Yeah. Well,
like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. So it isn't like oh shit, there he
is.
It's more
to piggyback on your point. Does that ruin it? Because it's like the Freddy Krueger thing. First Freddy Krueger was very creepy and scary, and then he became a commercial. He became a sideshow comic.
Yeah. Again, Jaws 2, Jaws 1. You barely ever. You basically didn't see the shark
by accident, but
until the end, halfway through the movie, and you really didn't see it until the end of the movie.
A lot of times it was actually first person, and that was one of the first times I think that was actually used. Was in Jaws when they had the first person on the shark, the first girl that got out. You had the first person camera on her.
I'm not sure.
That was
well, there's a couple of them, but yeah, point of views.
Like,
I think Peeping Tom.
Jaws 2, straight off, like within a couple of minutes of the film.
Well, they actually had a bigger budget because the first one did so well, and they were able to fix the shark.
They actually had a smaller boat.
Did they?
Yeah, because it was only the police boat in Jaws 2.
Well, we need a smaller budget.
So
I think we need a bigger budget.
Like, if you consider what Spielberg did with the original one with just music.
But you gotta realize Spielberg to this day disagrees with it. Really? Spielberg's success is based on Jaws. I think it's Duel. It's a great film he did. But Jaws, actually, to this day, said the only reason I did not show the shark is because I couldn't. It was breaking down.
Yeah, it broke down.
And so you should see the images they had. You know the scene where the boy gets it. But we are still talking about it. But you remember the scene where the boy gets it, which is ballsy back in the 70s, when the boy gets eaten?
Yeah.
You just see him get gulped.
Yeah.
In the original, there's a picture, and you can download it, of the shark coming up, and he's in the shark's mouth, and he's about to clamp down. Okay, cool. But it broke down.
Yeah.
So he says it looks too cheesy. Yeah. So, and there's, I could be mistaken. You guys can certainly correct me, but Steven Spielberg to this day says if he can remake any of his films, it would be Jaws, and he'd show the shark.
Really?
It was his idea. Let's use the music instead.
Yeah.
Because we can't show the shark. So yeah,
But I think it worked out.
Oh yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not Spielberg's a genius, but
that was the most suspenseful film.
Yeah.
Not here for definitely for sure.
You can still watch Jaws today, and you can't touch it.
Yeah.
So
I remember being terrified even when I watched Jaws 20 years after it came out. It was the scene under the water when he goes in, opens the cooler, and the face comes out, or opens something in the face.
Oh no, I see he's poking in the boat. It's like
I mean, yeah.
He's got the shark tooth, and then the body floats.
Yeah. Richard Dreyfuss is diving.
If I remember correctly, I can't remember if they added
shit myself. No joke.
I can't remember if they added that in, or they were wanting to take it out. I remember it was one of the test screenings or something. Yeah.
No, they had to keep that, and they needed a body count or something because it was getting kind of a lull.
Yeah.
But anyways, to go back to it, Tim Curry or Skarsgård, I like them both. It's that whole theory about for Trekkies who are listening to this is you have Star Trek or Star Trek Generations.
You mean Next Generation?
Oh, was it Next Generations?
Yeah.
And the argument is
you could just imagine that with Kirk versus Picard.
Old Star Trek with Picard.
Yeah,
that's what the famous.
Or you could have.
I got that from Big Bang Theory, I think. Actually,
what, have the original series with Picard as the captain?
Yes,
that would be terrible.
Okay, negative.
See, recently, just completely off track.
No, really?
If anybody's ever seen the Face Up thing where you turn old,
yes,
I've been told about 30 times I look like Patrick Stewart.
I got Harrison Ford.
You did not get Harrison Ford. You said Harrison Ford. We all said you look like you're fucking dead. And you're walking about.
You know what?
Well, according to you, I'm Christopher Reeve.
You're walking dead.
Because have you seen Harrison Ford recently?
Yeah.
He does look pretty rough.
Harrison Ford does not.
He does.
I fuck him.
You fuck him.
Oh, Harrison Ford is a badass.
Harrison Ford, if you listen to this at any chance, we're in Belfast. Hit us up. Kieran will take you out for dinner, a few drinks, and then
if he gives me a Spandora and whip, bam!
You can leave your hat on.
Kieran will introduce you to Buckfast. But
here, Indiana.
A different kind.
But anyways, going back to the theory is, I love Tim. I grew up with Tim Curry.
You him and Stephen King? Jesus, you were a popular kid.
Stephen King.
My point being is, he played, obviously, he got from the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
He's
fantastic.
I love him in Clue. Yeah. It's a funny ass film. But he did a film called Legend.
Not only that, he was in Home Alone too.
Yeah, he did a movie called...
Yeah, he was the hotel.
Oh, so he was, yeah.
Okay, anyways,
that was his best film.
He did a movie called Legend. Have you guys seen the movie Legend?
The one with Will Smith, or
no?
That's I Am Legend.
Tom Cruise. Oh my god. Tom Cruise. It is Ridley Scott's film, and it got again the Oscar for best makeup. And Tim Curry plays a 10-foot double. He's the double.
Yeah.
And the makeup is considered one of the best makeup jobs in film history
for the time.
No. It holds up.
You bring it up and show me.
I'm pulling it up right now.
You pull it up because
you won't recognize.
I feel like this is for the time.
You won't recognize Tim Curry.
Yeah, you know what he looks like? If anybody's ever seen the video for Tribute by Tenacious D,
that is what it looks like.
He looks like Dave Grohl.
He probably copied it.
You type in Dave Grohl tribute video, and I guarantee he looks the same.
No. But anyways,
wait, hold on. Has Tom Cruise got long hair in it?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's weird.
Tim Curry's Legend. Hold on.
You use Bing?
I don't know. I don't. Shut up. It is an amazing effects. That's Tim Curry. Can you believe that?
That is the smuggest looking devil
I know. Yeah, badass. But come on.
Why you gotta?
Tim Curry is fucking ripped.
But or prosthetics. Anyways, my point being is that he was so good in that, even with makeup.
Yeah.
And I really liked it in the original version.
Yeah.
I think Skarsgård did a great job.
He did.
I think dialogue-wise, he's better to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Curry probably be too comedic.
Yeah.
But Skarsgård,
because he's a clown.
Because Skarsgård is a dramatic actor, so he could probably play off it where he's goofing with him, and then he can turn it like that, he did with Georgie in the sewer scene.
The first scene,
where he's like, "Do you want?" And then he starts drooling from his lip, and then you see the eye just stare at him. It goes from like a happy clown to just staring as pure evil. Yeah. Tim Curry, I don't think could have done that.
No.
I think he could have. I like Tim Curry.
I agree with Kieran in this one. Like,
I don't think.
No, I agree that first scene was fantastic, but other than that, again, I don't know why I just find Tim Curry's.
I find Tim Curry scary-ish, but he was more comedic. It was more like I don't know what's going to come next because he's a clown. He's a bit strange. He's a bit eccentric. Whereas the Skarsgård one was just like, when you see him, you know it's going to be fucked up. You know it's going to be strange. It's going to be scary. Like, you know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the original. I like Tim Curry in it, but
both great films.
And we're probably spoiled because of some of the. But I think they blended the minimal CGI with practical pretty well in it.
Yeah.
Where sometimes they just use all CGI, which could ruin it, and they don't do it here.
Yeah.
What's that?
We had a slight argument earlier about American Werewolf.
Oh yeah, well, guys, we'll get this dipshit. His name's Graham. Says American Werewolf is the worst visual effects he's seen in a werewolf movie.
And it's rare that I
let me finish, please. And I said, what the fuck are you talking about? It won at the Oscar. It deserves everything. It's still the best transformation ever. The Howling might be a close second. He goes, no, you're wrong. Blah. Let me show you.
I said,
and
it is terrible.
You have to see the film. He thought it was. It was so bad.
Okay, so
laser wolf eyes.
You know what? Kieran was right in this one. So the practical effects were they were actually really, really, really good. They still hold up perfectly. But I just watched in the last few weeks an Indian werewolf transformation. So it's from an Indian Bollywood film. So if anyone's watching, type in Indian werewolf transformation. You'll get what I mean.
I just try to figure out how you mix those up.
You know you're in the right trailer or snippet when there is a dog with one eye shooting a laser.
Yeah, you
two eyes and an Indian guy sitting against the wall.
And the next thing you got is flash, pubes, covered in pubes. Then he's a dog.
And then he's a dog, yeah.
Then he is a horror. It's fucking...
Wow. So he's Asian?
I was like, oh, what is that Asian?
You went row.
That is Scooby-Doo. You stupid dude. What is this? Horror, can take your order, please. Oh, no, I'm racist. Let's continue. Let's get this.
Oh my god. How long is this podcast?
So here, so it, yeah. Who do you think was your favourite character from the kids? Who brought home for you guys?
I liked. I'm gonna be honest with you, I liked them all.
Yeah.
I felt a couple of them you didn't really need, but they're more backdrop.
Yeah.
Who would you?
Well, I know for me it would be the
I didn't
Beverly.
like.
Yep.
And then it would also then be the bigger kid. He was really, really good, especially with the whole bullying situation, the whole that and how he took it. I thought that was awesome. They're my two favorite. Colin, what about you?
For me, again, I think I'd probably have to do Beverly.
Yeah, I go.
Beverly was awesome. She was. I really
Beverly, Ben, the big guy, the big kid.
Yeah.
I like the black kid, Mike, because I thought those three had the worst to deal with. He's a black kid in a primarily a white town.
Yeah.
You had the woman being, the child being pretty much molested by the father, and you had the big kid dealing with obviously his weight.
I need no parents, right?
No, the
black kid had his uncle who was raising him.
Yeah, so his parents died in the fire. Though,
yes,
right?
he died in the fire. And his backstory is coming up in the sequel.
But
it is disturbing.
That is different than the miniseries though, because his dad is alive because he gives him the book with the history.
Yes.
Whereas in this one, it is the larger kid who has the history of Derry.
Yes, because because he becomes the librarian.
Yep.
Of the town. You're right.
So I'm kind of curious whether they're.
I'm not sure how it worked in the book, but they almost role reversal.
I mean, you did say you bought them, right? Oh, that's right. You didn't read them.
I read the first 10 pages, and then as he's describing the table for the first 10 pages, I got
5 Stephen King books. I got Dr. Sleep recently, and I was like, I'm going to read this.
That's supposed to be. I can't.
That's actually him and his son working together on that book, Dr. Sleep. It's the sequel of The Shining.
Yeah, we all
got about 10 pages in, and I went.
Stephen King is phenomenal, but he's a hard read.
Yeah, it is.
But if you cut the meat,
and
you go through, you get right to the bone. There's a massive story there.
Big time, yeah.
And so that's why
he's a genius. He's a genius at our age.
I mean, Pet Sematary, Carrie, Christine, Creepshow. I fucking love Creepshow.
I love Christine.
Shawshank Redemption.
Colin, what do you think of Shawshank Redemption?
The Shining. Well, The Shining he didn't want.
I definitely think my favorite Stephen King is Sharknado.
Sharknado, yeah. I loved it. No, but I prefer Sharknado 3. Have you ever seen that?
I mean, are you talking the book or the theatrical release?
We'll go for the theatrical release.
Theatrical release. I haven't seen Sharknado 3 now.
What we actually found out earlier is...
What the hell are you talking
about? we'll clue you in afterwards.
Yeah, have you not read Stephen King's Sharknado?
Sharknado
Stephen King hasn't read
Sharknado is a horrible film. That was they're actually watched by millions of people. People love them.
Sci-fi. I know it.
But what we discovered earlier, which is actually more disturbing than Sharknado, is the fact that Colin has never seen The Shawshank Redemption, which is literally rated as the best film.
But you've seen all the Sharknados.
No, I've actually only seen one.
Okay, you've seen one Sharknado, and you still haven't seen Shawshank.
One Sharknado and all the Japanese Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And you've never seen Shawshank.
Yeah.
You know what's been bothering about Shawshank?
What?
He won't like it. You know why?
Because we told him it was good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he also doesn't go for the popular vote, so he'll just not like it because
it's shit.
Yeah, whatever. Fucking fuck them. We're Spider-Man.
Spider-Man would get them with their new brother, bro.
Spider-Man would have hooked him up. Go get him, Red. You said there's a character called Red. Isn't that Spider-Man?
Well, things that people think that are good are often overrated, such as Star Wars.
Whoa. No, that's a different discussion. Whoa. That's a different discussion. Yeah. But Shawshank, you have to see Shawshank Redemption.
It's amazing. It's so good. Well, you know what? It's not super good. It's all right. You watch it. It's all right.
You think I'm just gonna watch it and be like, try it?
Yeah, because then when you actually watch and you're like, this is amazing, then
because you're the kind of guy who won't admit. You're the kind of guy who won't admit. Going, you know what, guys? I should have watched that sooner.
I think we overplayed it for Colin because we were like, oh, this is a fucking great film. I love this film.
No, you didn't. You were just like, yeah.
No, we did it. We're actually pretty good about it. We're pretty good about it.
Like, I'll watch something and like, if I think I enjoy it, then fine. Even if it's popular, I still like it. But it's, I don't know. I'm weird. I'm fussy about my films, but also not, because people would be like, "Do you like fucking hackers?" And I'm like, "Yeah, damn right, I like hackers."
Yeah.
Hack the planet.
You like hacker? You like slashers? I like rom-coms. I don't like rom-coms.
Yeah, Hackers is a film.
Hackers is brilliant.
Not a subgenre.
Might be.
I mean, it could be. I mean, on this occasion, I'm thinking
Smith's a robot. Fuck off. Leave my drink alone, right?
No, if you've not seen Hackers, Angelina Jolie and what's that dude called?
John Lee Miller.
That's the one.
It's a bad movie. Don't watch it.
It's
What's Angelina Jolie's best film? Because
I don't think she has.
I don't think there is one yet.
No, I like Angelina Jolie.
In what?
Yeah.
I like Salt. That was a cool film.
Okay. Salt is useful, yeah.
I like Wanted, but that was because of James McAvoy, because it's kind of his film.
Is that the one with the cool keyboard scene where he smacks someone and says, yeah, I mean...
That's the one that everyone tries.
Chris Pratt.
If anyone's got a pallet gun, they always try to go sideways shot.
I liked her in...
If you say Tomb Raider, I'm going to slap
horrible. No, I'm going to say Tomb Raider.
The remake is fucking great.
She is amazing.
I like her.
So
and
good.
They even announced it made enough money they're going to do a sequel. Yeah. I'm very excited because I thought that film was really cool.
Yeah, it was.
That was more Indiana Jones to me than the other ones were.
But they went on the new game series. That's
I don't know
new game series.
But that scene with the plane, everything was brilliant.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But anyways,
we need to keep coming back.
Honestly, got it.
Yep.
All right. Long story short, I really enjoyed it, and but I'm not going to compare it to the original because I grew up with the original, so I really enjoyed that one as well. They're different films. Yeah. They're different takes on a very dark and graphic novel. This is going more true to the novel, where the other one's more pulled back. So I really can't continue this until we see the second one, which is only a few weeks away.
Tell me this though. Let's give it all a rating out of 10. All right, Kieran, out of 10, what would you give the remake and the original? Give us
we should do this if we're going to do a rating system.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do 10s.
Okay,
but we do it by genre.
Okay.
So this one's for horror.
For horror is different.
Because if you do Shawshank, you can't compare Shawshank.
No, of course not.
So we'll do genre.
Okay.
Top 10s from now on.
I gotcha.
Got it?
Okay.
So you judge it as a drama, if it's a drama.
Because horror generally scores a little lower than other things.
And it's not fair.
No,
that's why I'm bringing that up.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, this is a good one. This is gonna be a tough one. Okay, the original It is gonna be tough because I go 5.
5?
Happy medium.
5's a low score.
And the reason I say that, because when I know this one's based more on the true material, I almost want a mixture. And I just think TV diluted it.
Yeah.
And so it hurt it. But I like it. It's because I'm only giving 7.
7.
I think that's fair. And the reason I'm giving it a 7 is because I haven't seen part 2 yet.
So you're giving a 5 and a 7.
5 and a 7. I think that's fair. And it's not because the first one's better or worse. It's just diluted. And that's because of the format it was produced on, which was TV on ABC at 7 o'clock at night. Very limited. So, but I still like it. But for horror standards, sadly enough, that you mentioned, that's actually pretty good.
It is pretty good.
But I give it a 7, the one we're talking about. And that could go up. If they close it well and it merges perfectly with this one,
it
can skyrocket. With James McAvoy, Jessica Chastain, Bill Hader, I don't think they can fuck it up.
James McAvoy has no wrong. He's not done no wrong yet.
for me.
The latest X-Men could have been. But
you know what? Even the latest X-Men,
I haven't seen it.
He's good.
I like it.
Yes. Even that film, was it recently? It was Glass, or not one Glass, sorry, the one with
Glass.
Was Glass when they all came together? Like, I didn't like that film.
What a great performance for such a shit ending of a series.
Oh, he was so good. I hated everything else about the film, but he was amazing. Colin, what is your scores? Scores on the doors.
The new one, I'll give it a middling 5.
Wow,
what a fucking asshole!
So we'll see you in the next podcast. By the way, there's going to be it's a 2-man show for the next
5. Are you kidding me?
It wasn't scary and it didn't grip me.
He rated Sharknado was 6 just for that one. By the way,
Sharknado's a 10.
Okay, what about
the original?
Yeah,
maybe like a 6.
You got a 6. You got a 6 and a 5. So for Colin, this is a middle of the road show. This is maybe I wouldn't return to.
Do you
this
think
again.
that would go up if you really enjoyed 2?
Yes.
Okay. I think so.
Sure,
potentially. I'm willing to embrace it and give it a go. Like, I'll happily go and see it. But as it stands,
for the podcast sake, I gotta see the fucking thing.
As it stands, it didn't do enough for me to win me over compared to the miniseries. Despite the enhanced budget, CGI, and gore.
Okay. Well, I think it's different than you guys. For me, like, I love both films, so I'm gonna give the original probably about a 6.5. It would have been higher had I not seen the newer one, because the newer one I thought was awesome. I'll actually give the new one about an 8 in my books.
That's fine.
You know what? I thought it was really well acted, especially by the girl who played Beverly, especially by the guy who played Ben. Like, we had some good acting in there. We had some really good CGI that Cameron loves so much. I thought we had
the CGI was like, really with CGI. It was mirrored well with the practical.
Yeah, I love the fact that we've seen Pennywise so much more, and he became more of an actual main character opposed to. This is the
and that's why you didn't like it.
That's why
because
he
became too much of a character.
I like that.
To a degree. So again, it's that I'll go back to look. I mean, I love Terminator and Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Prime example.
2 is the best.
Yeah.
No.
But as you go through that series and Arnold actually becomes more and more prominent and he gets more and more lines, the films actually deteriorate.
It's the same thing with any horror trilogy or any horror series. Jason becomes a joke. Freddy becomes a joke. Yeah. Michael Myers became a joke. But so, what do you got? 8?
I gotta go 8. I actually really, really liked it. So unless the second film really balls it up, which I really can't see happening, then this is gonna remain probably one of the highest rated horror.
Yep.
I would say horror. I would say horror for sure. Horror films that I've seen in a long, long time. It hasn't been like that since 10, 15 years.
Halloween.
Halloween is great. It is. There's a lot of sort of
keep it up. Fuck off.
Similarities between it.
Halloween reboot is a lot better film. Anyways,
I agree with you on that.
All right, yeah, USA. Anyways,
fuck Star Wars. Though.
Yeah, fuck Star Wars.
No, but okay, cool. So 2 of us pretty much on the same par with what it is, and one is kind of gonna hold off to see what happens with the second one, which rightfully so, I guess, makes sense. But he'll still be wrong because he doesn't have taste in horror films.
Let us know in the comments what you think.
All right, guys, this has been our first. Wow, how long was this? We're a train wreck. This went all over the place, and actually, that's not too bad.
The best things go all over the place, though, right?
We're all right.
We talked about it for the whole time. How many people we have to this point right now?
It's not bad. 120 minutes.
If you're still listening right now, then you know what?
We want
you to hear the next one. We want to hear the one after that.
Well done for this.
And
you deserve, go to sleep, maybe have a cry. You've made it this far.
If you're not laughing through this podcast and you can't put notes, go, okay, it's pretty funny. We like to see more structure, and that I agree with that. We will get copyright law, what we can do. I'm still working on that.
You get more drunker. Nah, we can't.
It's a baby step process, and we're just kind of getting our feet wet. But any comments you have? But in the meantime, before It 2 comes out, we are going to review another film.
What'll it be?
I think we should.
Let's do a different genre.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Okay, Colin. Let's go for your genre.
Let's go for Shawshank Redemption.
Yes, dude. Let's do it. Shawshank is...
No, because you know what? We kind of already know. Everyone knows.
It's too good. It is
It's too... I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
Japanese Spider-Man?
Ooh.
Oh,
stop the news on Spider-Man.
Now the thing with that though is that is a TV series, so that'd be a lot to watch. True. It's not a movie.
It's also terrible.
So I can't watch more than.
No, I kind of want to see that though.
Oh shit.
What about like this is out there. It is a hard to get film. I've only ever seen it online once.
Human Centipede, or
it is called Biozombie.
Okay.
It is a Japanese dubbed film where
you lost me in the old Japanese one.
Yeah. Again, look at Japanese.
Not like Japanese people. It's just like
look at Japanese. Look at Japanese Spider-Man. And tell me it's not something that you're interested in. But
the pure reason it is the same reason I like The Room. Okay, it's absolutely bloody terrible.
Same idea. Watch Biozombie.
Okay. What do you reckon, Karen? What do you reckon?
All right, why don't we do this? Why don't we do this? Is there a way that first of all, anyone who listens to this, all two of you, pick the next film you want us to listen.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. But and then the website's being developed now. Why don't we do this? How do you...
I'm just going to suggest you check Audacity there, Kieran, as you did just put the laptop to sleep. Yeah, we're all good.
No, potentially. It's not asleep. It's just the monitor goes to sleep.
That's alright. Just,
So anyway, guys.
Wait. Random.
Thank you for listening. Kieran is now looking for the next film. He's going to go for a random film check.
Okay, so there's a way. Random film movie generator.
Right. We'll end the podcast and we can come back to a random movie.
Unless we can get a random film now, or at least comments in the section, we'll do the random film. But if anybody has any better suggestions than what Kieran's about to say, we'll do that. Otherwise, Kieran, the film we're going to do next podcast is...
We are going to do I got it.
Okay.
We stick with... Let's go to the Glory 70s.
Jesus.
No, Jesus.
What's that? 20 years before I was born?
Yeah, okay, whatever. The French Connection.
Yeah, okay.
Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
There's a film about a clothing line?
Yeah.
This movie is flawless. William Friedkin's second film right after he did The Exorcist.
Okay, cool. Which, by the way, is a fucking masterpiece. I'd love to do that film sometime.
We will. Well, we'll see if we can get listeners.
Yeah.
If this is,
I'll listen to this.
But so that's it. French Connection.
All right.
I know. I'm just picking. I'm just kind of throwing it out. The reason I bring it up because I was thinking about Gene Hackman and it's by far his best role next to Unforgiven.
I'm sorry, but Gene Hackman's best role was Lex Luthor.
For the next podcast, we will find out those theories.
Yes, with the pharmacist as Superman.
Anyway, look, guys, thanks for listening, and look forward to speaking to you next time.
Cool.
And we'll see you guys, yeah?
Yep.
Cool.
Look after yourself, guys.
Thank you, and have a good night.
Later.